Hey, what's up, barbecue family? It's your boy Joe Mill here, back with Killer Miller Q. We are getting ready for Memorial Day weekend. One of my favorite barbecue shows will be starting up today on Netflix. That's that Barbecue Showdown, and one of my boys is on there, my boy T with T&T BBQ, and we're gonna do a special little tribute video to kind of kick this thing off. We'll be doing some baby back ribs. I got my mop sauce on deck. This will be good. Let's get ready for this holiday. Alright, we're gonna cut that music, and now let's see what we got inside the old drip tray bucket, or drip easy bucket. Open up. Oh, we got 3 beautiful contestants sitting here lined up for us today. I decided to go with baby backs because lately that's what I've been enjoying. I used to be a spare rib guy, but lately me and the baby backs been having some fun. So I grabbed me a nice pack. They were partially frozen, which you'll find a lot of times. You know, normally I'm grabbing mine at Costco. Come in a 3-pack. So it was a little hard, so just took them out of here, rinsed them out of the package, and patted them dry. As you can already see, there's some moisture coming back. I'm gonna leave them in here closed up for a little bit longer. Let them hang out for a half hour or so, and then we'll come back and we'll get them seasoned up. But I'm not gonna leave them outside. I'll leave them covered up just like this inside, and they'll be good to go. But what we can do during this time is go ahead and get our rub together. Okay, you see I had to bring out the old new towel. Good eats, cold drinks, and barbecue, okay? It's about time for us to throw together our rub for today's ribs. And today's video, while I'm gonna bring out this rub that we won't be using today, but only to show my man's emblem and everything, we're firing it up old T&T barbecue style. We're gonna be using that mop sauce today. We got our kickoff party, man. It is a beautiful day out here in AZ. Memorial Day weekend, yard cleaned up. We ready to rock and roll. I'm sitting back ready to check out the newest episode of Barbecue Showdown on the Netflix, watching the old episodes now. We all fired up, so we're gonna keep this real simple. Basically, I got one of my old shakers. This is one of my shakers I love to actually keep, old Killer Hogs. Good shaker, nice size, but we basically gonna put together our own SPG. Nothing crazy, but I swear comes out a lot better when you make your own. No need to spending that money. So this is what you got. I got 60% of this is gonna be black pepper. 40% of this is gonna be kosher salt. I like using granulated garlic because the molecule is a little bit bigger. And then we'll be coming in with about 10% some granulated garlic. So what I'm gonna do, and the reason I like this cup or this shaker is, one, it's got a nice handle and everything, feels good, good size. But basically I'm gonna use half of this. So I'll be going about 60% up, half of the way. 40% up, half of the way, 10% up on the garlic, half of the way, and then I got plenty of room to still shake this all around and then apply it over. And I'm not afraid, knowing that I'm using SPG all the time, I like to make a lot of this. So we're gonna throw this together real quick. I'll show you what it looks like before I shake it up. All right, we are back. I kind of threw some lines on there just to give me some halfway thoughts of what it could be, more or less, even though I didn't have to follow them directly. More or less, I put me a line more or less at about close to half the bottle, where I thought after I looked at half, where it was half at, give me a little bit more. There's my 60% mark for my pepper, 40% of the salt, and then there's the 10% of garlic. Now keep in mind, this does not have to be exact, but one thing I do like about making my own AP is you can control everything. If you want to make it a little bit more lower on sodium, you can do that. If you like garlic like I do and you want to add in and make it more like 15% garlic or something like that, you could definitely do so. And then, you know, by always starting with a nice base of black pepper, you'll get a great crust. It gives it a good flavor and it gives it a little bit of kick. A lot of times people don't know that black pepper give it a little kick in there too. So let's mix this up, and then we got our rub. And there we go. I'm telling you, I'm to the point now, man, my palate got a lot simpler than it used to be, I feel like. But just some good old SPG like that, nice and coarse grain, and that's about all I need on half of this. All right, let's get these ribs back out. As you can see, I flipped these babies over. I wiped them back down with a paper towel. And the reason being, I wanted to get rid of most of that moisture that was already in here. and get them all the way down so that they're ready to go. I didn't have to worry about getting rid of the membrane because the good lovely people at Costco actually removed them already for myself. So I'm really not gonna do any fuss or nothing like that with these ribs. There's a couple little spots where I could have took off some of the fat, but we just backyard doing it for Memorial Day. Like I said, getting ready to watch the old barbecue showdown on Netflix. Check out my boy T and T&T BBQ. At the end of the day, these are gonna come out just fabuloso. So all I'm about to do is get these babies covered over with some of this SPG, and then we should be ready to rock. Woo, halfway peak here. I'll tell you what, you can smell that garlic. And one of the reasons why I like doing that SPG, heavy on that pepper, is I can come on with a nice coat and still come out with not too much salt. Like I said, you want to control that salt. That's something I like a lot. And then also, one thing that's nice is being in this old barbecue tub. You can see I started them already face side down or meat side down, bone side up, however you want to look at it. So now I can go ahead and coat this one side. I'll let this sit for a little bit, put the top right on top of it, flip it over and hit the other side. And they're going to sit right in here until they're ready to go. Man, I'll tell you what, that garlic, boy, it smells so good. Make sure when you going around and you seasoning, you frequently take some time to shuffle this thing back up, because I mean those particles are not all the same size, so eventually you get some that's going to sift through a little bit quicker than the other, so you can get you a good mix all the way through. But at the end of the day, I'm looking good. We're going to be nice and crusty. These babies to hang out for a little bit. Pit's pretty much up to temp. I'm going to try to keep it down, maybe around 250-ish, 275, my normal range. And then we're going all the way, as you can see, no fuss, no wrap, no nothing. I am going to be spritzing, obviously. We got that T&T Mop Sauce, but we ain't going to be using that for quite a while. So we'll see you over there at the pit. Okay. We got everything rolling. As you know, I remember a while back I had that little bit of moisture in the dial. I knew it wouldn't make it too far into our warmer months, but you can see that's all gone. My temperature was just at 250, so I'm rolling about where I wanted to be. It just came down as I already got the meat on. Hey, I tell you what, if you ain't smoking like that, I don't even want my meat on there. That might be too much smoke right there. A lot of times I like when you look out here, it's absolutely nothing, but we just kind of getting going. Got these babies on here. 3 delightful baby backs. Like I said, I didn't do anything, so I didn't take no meat off. I could have took off some of these ending straggler-ish bones to have me some quicker pieces that I can eat, but I left them as is. A little bit of fat, a little bit of silver skin on there, but it's gonna all work itself out over time. You just wait and see. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let these babies go to sleep. Ain't gonna do nothing crazy to them along the way. When I come in here and do my wood rotations at about 45 minutes to an hour, I will be moving the racks just so they can kind of move around in here, my hot spots or whatever have you. But we're gonna smoke along with some of this pecan, and I'll bring you back here in a little bit so you can take a peek. All right, so we're a little over an hour. Been running a little warm today, which is not surprisingly. Man, these things already got some beautiful color. Not surprising, being that I'm out here in just about 100-degree temp. I really haven't looked at it much today. I wouldn't be surprised if we were just about right there, but one way or another, the sun is beaming over here in this area. Beautiful looking color, nothing but some SPG. You can already see that bark setting up. But with that said, I'm not quite ready to get in there to that magic mop sauce quite yet. Maybe closer to that 2-hour mark. I'm at about 1 hour and 15 minutes right now. Let me rotate these babies, and all I'm gonna do is take the back all the way up to the front and then knock them back a row. Take the middle to the back and so on and so forth, and then we'll keep these babies going just like that. Got them all flipped around. Damn near about ready to get that spritz, but I'm gonna give them just a little bit longer. That old long spatula always comes in handy. I just use my one from my Blackstone. And then if I didn't say it earlier, keep in mind whenever you throw these ribs on there, take a second to go ahead and group them together like an accordion. They start all stretched out. You're going to end up drying your ribs out and they'll end up real thin. Squish them together, make a nice meaty rib for what it's going to be. They're going to tighten up a little bit as they cooking anyway. And pretty much I took my thicker, meatier side, and that's what I got towards my firebox. So I'm going to keep it like that right now. We'll flip it up later. I'm bringing you back at the 2-hour mark, and we smoking all the way from Conroy, Texas, out here to Gilbert, Arizona. Smooth and easy. Oh my God, yes. I'm just now throwing a log in, so hopefully you don't get too much smoke in your eyes. Check that out right there. No spritz, No binder. This just straight up meat, SPG, and a little bit of thyme and some good smoke, like I always tell y'all, and I mean that from the heart. You gotta get some good smoke on your meat, no matter what temp you cooking at, what you decide to season it with. Make sure you running you a nice clean fire so your meat can do like it's doing right there. You see how it's getting that nice red color? And we ain't had no paprika, no filters, no nothing on this. It's just you looking at it like I'm looking at it. Woo, let me get my hand up out of there, it's hot. All right, we're gonna get over here to the star of the show. I got a little bit of that T&T Mop Sauce mixed off in here. You can see a little bit of the herbs and spices and the lard and all that good stuff that's in here. Let's see if I can get away with using this out of my spray bottle without all of those particles getting in there. Easily you can strain that off first, but it's got so much flavor in there I didn't want to lose it, so I'm gonna leave this nice and open. And now we're gonna start the process of getting this baby wet. Tell you what, the taste on this, amazing. The smell, instant. Only reason I'm not actually mopping is I'm getting low and I want to save what I got. Let me get all of this wet. I give you a peek and I'm locking this baby quickly back down. All right, everybody wet. We got a good little bit of moisture on there. They looking at a pretty good color now, but I know I want to go a little bit on longer. A lot of that color you get is obviously that redness, and then you got that pepper on there. We're gonna have that nice crust of pepper, but we going on the rack the whole time, so these will end up a little bit darker, but they about to be fire. I can't wait. Love the smell of this mop sauce that's on here. I'm gonna let these babies hang out. I'm not gonna move them yet. I'll be back in about 15 minutes, give them a rotation, another spritz, and I can let them go ahead and stay to sleep a little bit longer. Maybe I can at least get me another half hour in or so before we move on to the second part. All right, we've been rolling along. It's at that 2.5 hour mark, and we've been kicking up. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm about ready. Yeah. That's as dark as we gonna get. Let me get these babies spritzed and let me get these babies flipped. And let me get them rotated. You can see that fat is busted up there. That's that line that I didn't take off of that fat and that little bit of silver skin. So that's gonna be busting open. But man, it's got a beautiful color on these things. So I'm about to rotate them, get these babies, well, let me spritz them, rotate them, and we're gonna be going for the next hour upside down. All right. I told you I'd bring you back once I got them a little wet. What I did is I went ahead and slid that mop sauce up out of that container, and then I was able to kind of dab it on a little bit more heavy, let it splash down there on them tuning plates, and I'm gonna tell you what, that smell is amazing. It creates some magic, I'm gonna tell you that. Now we're about to go ahead and make this rotation and flip them and hit the same thing on the backside. Hey team, I want to jump in here real quick and let you know, thanks for following along on today's cook. If you're new to the channel, go to the bottom right corner, subscribe, check out some of the other videos you've missed. For everybody that's been here, I appreciate y'all. We almost at 2,000 subscribers. Enjoy your weekend and make sure you get something in that grill for the fam. Man, check these babies out, I'm telling you. Tasting what's already on my hands. We done got these babies rotated, we got them flipped, we got a little bit of extra of that T&T mop sauce on there, and these babies is looking good. Now you know, this gives you a chance. I figured I wasn't gonna be able to get to my normal 3 hours because I was cooking a lot more at 275 and even pumped up to 300 a couple times, but I wasn't worried because everything was clean smoke. 2.5 hours is more than enough time for me to get some good smoke in here. That's what my whole first portion is. At this point now, we just kind of getting the other side done. This is normally when I would have been doing a wrap. So now what you're pretty much doing is I'm getting these babies nice and tenderoni. Got them nice and evenly rotated. And then after about an hour's time, we'll bring them back around. I don't believe I'm gonna go ahead and sauce these at all. So from there, we'll hit them with a little bit more of that mop sauce, which worked out great coming up out of this container here. Didn't spill as much or use as much, but you can see all of them good herbs and spices and everything that was in there. I wanted to get some more of that on the actual rib. So I'm gonna let these babies hang out. I'll bring y'all back. So now we at that 3:30 mark. These babies ready to go. You can start to see them bones pushing through. I can give me a little bit of bend. These are the little things you look for, you know. It's been an hour. They've been over here chilling. Look at that beautiful red color. Boy, this meat is gonna be amazing. We'll go ahead and flip these babies over. They looking nice and juicy. I'll give them another bathing of this mop sauce, and we'll get them up off of here. Woo-hoo-wee! I don't know if y'all can still hear that plane. That's the police on the way coming to get me for this one right here. And these babies is great. Now keep in mind, you make them the way you like them. You know what I'm saying? If you like them a little bit lighter, you can do that. But I like to get that nice, beautiful mahogany red color looking like there from that smoke. And all that nice crust from all that good black pepper and everything on there. As you can see as we get in nice and close. Oh yeah, that should be a good view for you. Yeah, that's the way I like to do mine. If whatever, no matter which seasoning you're using, keep in mind always that salt. If you was trying to throw on some sauce, right now I would have, when I flipped them over, I would have hit the bone side first and then flipped them over and got the tops all wet and let it set for about 10-15 minutes at a little bit lower temp, closer to 225-ish. And then from there, let them relax like we about to do right now. And obviously taste them. But them babies right there is ready to rock. Alright, let me get into this cut job before I lose all my daylight. These babies you see have a beautiful crust as you just saw. I had a nice little lump that just kind of broke off a minute ago. Man, it tastes great. I'm just going to flip these over so I can see the bone side a little bit better. Got my semi-decent knife. Cutting right through. I won't bore y'all so you see every one of them cut or nothing like that. But cut me a couple bones up out of here. Whew, man, I better not knock them rocks off. I know that. Oh, yeah. You know, see something like that. That's just something that's just asking you to come on here, taste me. You the one, huh? You the one. Oh, wee! Look at that crust. That beautiful redness. Let's get one of these up out of here. Wow. Good old SPG. And that old mop sauce. Look at that. Make sure we get that a picture, huh? What you think? Woo! Man, that's some good flavor coming up off of the air. Smoke, that garlic, that mop sauce, and all of those herbs and vegetables that's in there. Look at that color that's on there. Smoke ring for sure. Nice and juicy. Ooh-wee. Let me continue. Let me get another one over here cut. Got down. And I'm gonna get to the rest of that rack. This was the rack that had that bigger fat cap piece on there and a little bit of that silver skin. And see, this is how I like my ribs. I can still handle these, but you can see they got some good bend to them. And they just nice and solid from the way we grouped them together in the very beginning, which is why that's so important. So they're not sitting out too flimsy. And they nice and meaty. Bam! Look at that. Look at that. Now that I gotta take a bite of. Easy, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful flavor. I mean, you can hit them with barbecue sauce if you want to, but a lot of times, man, we just like them just like that. More like a dry rib, but obviously they've been hit with that mop, so they got a little extra something on there, and they nice and juicy. You can see my hands and these gloves. Man, this one here is slamming. I'm gonna cut up the rest of these, and I'll bring y'all back. All right, I cut up enough of them. I'm gonna finish the rest of this in the house. These flies is going ridiculous. I did want to bring you in better for another shot of this single rib. I'm over here. I've been bashing y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm over here taste tested. This final rack back here on the back was nice and tender. Oh man, we're gonna be all right here. So we're gonna break these on down. I'll have all my bones already ready to go. If anybody wants sauce, obviously we throw that on when they warm them up. All right, we got that thing done. Overall, my cook only took me about 3.5 hours. I was cooking a little higher than I normally like to cook. Usually I want to do my ribs around 225, about 250 is usually where I like being. It's hot out here if you can't notice. So more than anything, I probably was more at the 275 mark, even hit up at 300 a little bit. At the end of the day, as far as for me and my cooking process and what we just did, it doesn't really matter so much as, like I said during the video, making sure I get me some clean smoke is number one. And as long as I got clean smoke, the beginning portion, the first thing that I'm doing, only thing that matters is I'm getting to the color that I want to get to, and I'm giving it time for some smoke to get in there on my meat. So normally I would love for that to go to about 3 hours. We only got to about 2.5. After that, if you're somebody that likes to wrap, that's when you're going to be usually wrapping. In this case, and in our old rib experiment, kind of figured out that wifey and myself, we really like the texture and everything of them ribs. There's never no wrap, and there's also no fuss, so I like that. So we didn't wrap. So you're always going to get a little bit darker rib. You're always going to get a little bit more of a crunchier texture and a little bit more of a flavor on that, almost of a bark on those ribs. But anyway, so at that 2.5 hour mark, I was at the color that I wanted them to be. I at least got in at least a couple hours of smoke, so I know I was gonna have me some good smoke flavor in there. The next thing is all about getting them tender. So if I would have wrapped, that's what you're doing. I didn't wrap, but what I do is I flip them upside down. That helps to slow down the color getting too dark on the top side. That also helps it be a little bit more even cooking by working on the other side where the bones and everything is at, and putting that meat side flat down on the actual grill. I find that it helps my ribs to get nice and tender and quick after that. After that, other than hitting it with the mop sauce along the way, there was nothing else left to be done. If I was going to be doing some barbecue sauce, I would have put barbecue sauce on both sides, left it back out there for 15-20 minutes, and then we would have pulled them up off of there. With that said, them ribs came out fire. I love the simple SPG. That's one thing that I've kind of learned about my flavor profile. My flavor profile is that a lot of that other stuff that I started off with and a lot of these other different rubs either ended up just being too salty, too much flavor one way or another. Simple SPG for me does a whole lot, man. I really like garlic. I really like a nice crust with that black pepper and a little bit of salt. Go a long way. And then with that said, I don't got to put all that stuff on there. I don't got to spend all that money on them rubs. I don't know. It works. With that said, that's also the way that my man T does his. So I wanted to more or less copy his style, get a little bit of that explosive southern taste and flavor in my life. So we pulled out that mop sauce. If you haven't tried that mop sauce, that's one that you got to try. I knew it was going to be great because we've done a video where I did the pulled pork before on the pork butt. That's great. It's got a strong vinegar taste if you tasted it out the bottle, along with a lot of other vegetables and stuff like that in there. You can see a lot in the bottom, from black pepper flakes, red pepper flakes. I mean, a little bit of everything is in there. It's got a ton of flavor, but when it's hitting that meat and when it's hitting them tuning plates or direct fire underneath and that steam and stuff is coming back up and creating that smoke, hey man, it is absolute magic. I see why people line up to get that man's cooking out there in Iowa. I wish I could, but with that said, I'll create a little bit of that back here for myself. So ribs came out slamming. Reason I don't got none out here for now is, like we said, this is a Memorial Day cook, so I'll probably have 5 in the process, along with just kind of taste testing and stuff like that. So the rest of them I wrapped up, put them to the side. That's gonna be done so I can chill a little bit for this weekend. Make sure you check out my guy on Netflix at the Barbecue Showdown, probably my favorite barbecue show at this point. I'm looking forward to this season 2 kicking off. That was part of the inspiration for this video, other than the fact we gotta eat. So hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out like always. All my family, all my peoples, my boys in Black Smoke Barbecue. Have a good, safe holiday. I love and appreciate every one of y'all. We on a mission to get to these 2,000 subscribers, and then we up and beyond. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.